Howdy folks, welcome to the Hillbilly Kitchen. Today we're going to be making barbecue sloppy joes. Sloppy joes are a real kid's favorite. They all love them, and it's a good way to stretch your meat. You can feed 4 to 6 people with 1 pound of hamburger meat. It's a great lunch or a really fast dinner. So I'm starting with about 2 pounds of ground chuck here, and I'm going to season it. For 2 pounds, I'm going to use at least a teaspoon of onion powder. At least half a teaspoon of salt. And between a quarter to half a teaspoon of pepper. I don't want to get them too hot because the barbecue sauce is going to make them a little spicy too. And you want this ground beef crumbled up pretty fine, so as you cook it, just kind of chop it up whenever you stir it. And we're going to cook this on medium heat until it's completely brown. And just stir it occasionally like this to chop it up. And as it cooks, of course, you know, it'll be easier to chop up. When it's completely raw, it's a little sticky and doesn't break up. But we'll be back when this meat's brown. Okay, I've been cooking this meat on medium heat for exactly 15 minutes. And I've just been stirring it occasionally, certainly not constantly. It's all brown now. There's no pink spots left in. I do still have some pretty good sized chunks, and you really want this broken up fine because the big chunks kind of tend to fall off your sloppy joe sandwiches. You can also see that I've got quite a bit of grease in here. I mean, when I rake the meat to the side, it just runs everywhere. I'm going to stir this a little bit more to bust it up, and then I'm going to drain all that grease off of there. You don't want any grease left in it. Nobody in this house needs that grease, and the grease will really make your sandwiches soggy, and it doesn't taste as good if you don't get the grease all out. Okay, I've got all the grease off of it now. You can see there's none left in the bottom of the pan. And here's just a little tip. If you live in the country especially, you do not want to drain this down your sink because it will destroy your septic tank. You'll end up having to have somebody come out and dig it up and pump it. And even if you live in the city where you have city sewage, you probably don't want to pour it down your drains, or you'll end up having to call somebody out to unstop your drains. Drain it in a old can or something, you know, something you've taken vegetables out of, or even in a cup, and then when it cools, put it in your trash. Okay, now for sauce for our sloppy joes, I'm going to use 1/2 ketchup, and I do buy the all natural, no high fructose corn syrup ketchup, and 1/2 barbecue sauce. And for 2 pounds of meat, I'm going to start with about 1/3 of a cup, and I'm going to stir that up and see what it looks like. And I suspect I may have to add a little bit more of both, but we'll see. Now you want all of your meat covered well, but you don't want it soupy. Yep, we definitely need a little more. I'm going to do about another 1/4 cup of each, and we'll see what we got when we get that in there. When you're shopping for barbecue sauce, it's really hard to find some that does not have high fructose corn syrup in it. And the only thing I can get around here is a brand called Garland Jack's. And sometimes I can find Kraft's Special Recipe, and it doesn't have it in it. But I think of the two, the Garland Jack's is probably a little healthier. Okay, that looks pretty good. And we've got a little over 1/2 cup of ketchup and a little over 1/2 cup of barbecue sauce in our 2 pounds of meat. And that's just about what you want there. You want it all covered good, so it's a little saucy, but you don't want it soupy and runny. We'll toast some buns up to go with this and make some homemade French fries, and that turns it into almost a gourmet meal. So, thanks for watching us again, and don't forget to click like and subscribe and leave your comments. We'll see you next time.